do whatever the Hyundai you want.
Hey, I'm Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
G'day, I'm Marcus Ambrose.
Hey, this is Kenny Rose, and you're listening to
The FUUUUEELLL POD.
This podcast covers all things motorsports. It's unfiltered, it's unabashed, and
Ooh, we're going crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Jay, I feel like you can actually say it this time.
Yeah, it's actually,
it's a legit statement instead of just a canned opening phrase.
Yeah, I mean, it's golly, it's been a minute. I almost forgot how to do this.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
So it's good to be back. We had the holiday break.
Yep.
Looking forward to getting back.
Back to the racing season. We got a little bit of reverb going on right now.
Yeah, so we got some new audio, some new tech stuff we're using. So if you hear some weirdness, we're getting used to it. So give us a little grace on this episode while we get used to everything. Anyway, where you want to start at today?
We're gonna start with what we're doing this year, man.
What are we going to do this year?
We're gonna do some live broadcasts from racing events.
I'm pretty excited. I don't want to break news or anything, but I did get the probably from Will that we're going to be live at Texas Motor Speedway here in a few weeks for the NASCAR Truck Series I think that's on Saturday, and then the Indy Car race is on Sunday. So hopefully we'll be live for that as well, and we can hopefully maybe we can get some driver interviews. So hopefully we'll get to talk to the man who walked through fire.
That would be
do that, but it's one of those things where if we get them, we get them. If we don't, we don't. But I'm hoping we at least walk. Even if we can get 5 minutes from somebody, that'd be great and a big step forward for the show.
Absolutely.
The other piece that we're going to be doing is going to be doing some car shows.
Turn your volume down, Jay. Sorry, I can hear me over there.
Okay.
We're going to be doing some car shows. That's right. We'll be back at the Hugo Car Show next fall. This is the year of the Fuel Pod, man. This is our year to actually make it a big deal and work on it and do some really cool things. So I'm pretty excited about it. And it's already starting off crazy, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's already starting off crazy. 2023 is going to be I think a wild year in motorsports. We've talked F1 a lot. You want to go into F1 and silly season and all of that stuff today, or what do you want to go into?
Well, I mean, I think the first thing we do is we have to talk about ride season.
I was just talking to my brother about this yesterday. I'm so ready for this to come back out.
2024.
Okay.
If you want to see the trailer already,
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Check it out. Really forward. I haven't even seen the trailer yet. So I'm
wow, and usually you're our guy that sees all this immediately.
It was kind of a hectic holiday, kind of hectic, just having a break. It felt hectic, trying to come back and stuff. So it's one of those things where I'm really looking forward to it. I don't want to waste it. Of course, we watched. I watched probably 90% of the races. I mean, of course, we don't get the inside conversations, and we don't get the driver perspective.
Hopefully that'll change this year.
Yeah, and I think we'll get some. I mean, it was a crazy, silly season. So once Sebastian Vettel announced his retirement, it kind of went wheels off the truck right there. Right?
I mean, it really, it was like a rocket.
I mean, I can already hear Will Buxton in the show doing the whole when the episode. You know how when the episode starts off and they have like their version of the Law and Order gong, so it's like boom.
Yeah.
Hot off the paddock this weekend, Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champ, has decided to retire, and I can just see people walking through the paddock with rain and umbrellas, and Will Buxton talking about it, and all of a sudden, then we got Lando, Danny Rick drama. We've got the Oscar, or what's his name, the
Piastri that went to Alpine, right? And then he went to no, I'm not going to Alpine. Right. Alpine released it, said that's where he was going,
right?
And the huevos on that dude to be like, nah, I'm not going there.
Yeah,
like, whew.
And Otmar's already a hot under the collar type of guy. He's always walking around red face and sweating, and that really kind of set him off. So you got that stuff. So, and again, Lando, I felt like Lando was at a crux of a lot of drama that wasn't related to him. So you had the Danny Rick stuff, and then there was some talk about who could fit well with Lando, and I don't think they've made a good choice in that regard.
No, I mean, wasn't it Signs and Lando are really close, right?
Yes. But they had their right there at the end, though. It got kind of hairy.
Okay.
Lando wanted him.
Is
gone.
Lando maybe not a good teammate?
I don't know, man. I don't know the guy, and I hate judging people anyway. But I hate judging a guy I don't really know. That the only thing I'm seeing is what I see on F1 TV and what I see on a television show.
Yeah,
that's trying to get ratings.
Gotcha.
So I would reserve.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. We see the manufactured drama sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like you need to go play 18 holes of golf with Lando, and you'd probably know. You can play 18 holes of golf with anybody, and you kind of know where they are.
Where they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did Danny Rick end up?
Wow. So Danny Rick is at, wait for it, Red Bull.
But wait.
Oh wait,
there's more. Hasn't he already been at Red Bull?
He was at Red Bull already. Yes.
You think he wished he wouldn't have left?
The biggest, yeah.
I mean,
it's hard to tell where he could have went. So you had the issue. And let's roll it back, man. Let's roll it way back.
Okay.
2018. We're at Baku, Azerbaijan. You saw it on the show. I don't know if you got to see that race, but on the show they showed it where he got into the back of Max, or Max got into the back of him, whatever. One of them got into the back of the other one at like turn 2 or 3 or whatever, and they both went off the track out of the race. And on the show, that they cut immediately to Danny Rick walking up a ramp, just kind of looking over at Max, and I doubt that's exactly what went down. I just that footage in, but and then that was kind of the beginning of the end. The very next episode was this like Monaco episode, and the whole episode was geared around Danny Rick. Is he going to stay at Red Bull? And then he dives off the cliff at the end and hits the water, and then they show him in front of the camera going, "I have decided to leave Red Bull and accept a position at Renault."
But you wonder if that was already done. I mean, if that was already, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I see you have the new team changes up here. So, and this is going to be as our first episode back to get in the groove. Just FYI for everybody out there that might be watching, it's going to be kind of a short episode. It's going to be a nice and simple episode. We're going to go through some F1 changes. We're going to go through some team principal moves that Mike's not going to like a whole lot. We're going to set up our next race. We'll talk a little bit about our virtual racing, not a whole lot. I know not everybody, as my wife says, not everybody cares about that, Chad.
Right.
So anyway, let's go through the teams. Let's talk about who's where, what, getting ready to set the stage for 2023 F1 season.
Okay, so we only have, as far as driver changes, we have 6 out of the 10 teams.
Okay.
You know what? Let's stop for a second.
Okay.
Let's back this up, because last week we had a crazy sort of weirdo, maybe not announcement that, in fact, you broke it to me. I had to go read on it. Was Andretti.
Yeah, man. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
How did we forget about that?
I did forget about that. Obviously, you obviously
did forget about that. Yeah. I mean, they're going to be driving an Escalade in F1, right? Is that not how this works?
No.
Wasn't the Ghostmobile Ecto 1 was a Cadillac, right?
I
think
thought
it was a Cadillac.
It might have been.
Telling me there's a chance that Ecto 1.
No. Wow, man, you just went crazy there. Ooh, yeah, you
Sorry.
did. So F1 are closer, and let's just use that word because we don't know the particulars.
Yeah.
Of letting, and Andretti's been trying to get a team in F1 for years. So he's trying to bring Cadillac, which would be a U.S. manufacturer, into Formula One.
I'll tell you right now, there's nothing like getting a redneck into F1 by like, dude, they racing a Cadillac out there.
I got one of them Cadillacs out there. I don't know how them hybrids are going to do. But so anyway, yeah. And I think they're looking at 2026 maybe.
Yeah.
That's when a lot of big changes are. That's when the next round of really big changes are going to be 25, 26.
And there's been a little pushback, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's an 11th team.
Are they going to keep 11 teams? Or are they going to? They're going to go with 11 teams.
If they do it, it'll be 11. Well, technically there could be 12 because we also got Porsche Audi coming. But
is there
we don't know
on that, or is it just whatever the FIA
says?
What
First off, there's a buy-in.
Yeah,
there's a money buy-in, and I don't know what it is now. I thought it was like 400,000, but
chump change.
Neither here nor there. And then, of course, you got to rub elbows with the powers that be and get in. And then, other than that, I don't know, man. I think it's just under the table.
I just didn't know if there was if every team had a vote or if it was just the FIA says, no, this is our sport. We rule this. I didn't know how that worked.
That's
and
it's one of those
month.
things. If we're not in the room, we'll never know exactly how it goes down. People will act like they do. I'm sure there's other channels out there that will act like they know. But if you're not there, you don't know. You don't know how that stuff goes down.
Gotcha.
And we don't know it. We know Red Bull's leaning towards the Porsche Audi deal for powertrains, I guess, but we don't know if Porsche Audi's going to have their own manufacturer team where it's Team Porsche. You know what I mean?
Kind of like Mercedes.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Like Mercedes or Ferrari.
Or
or Alpine for that matter. So anyway, that's where we are with that. But let's get into
that's the breaking news of Cadillac and a US based team coming in.
So we have 6 teams that will be different on the grid this year as far as drivers go. The first one's going to be Alpine.
Okay.
Staying with Esteban Ocon.
Whatever.
And they picked up Pierre Gasly. Now, what makes this team interesting is that Alpine is a French team.
Yeah, it's the French connection.
And Ocon is French. And Pierre Gasly is obviously French. So this is literally an all-French team. And that's in and of itself.
I think that's pretty cool.
It's going to drive some traffic, I think.
I think I changed my mind on this a lot.
Okay. They dumped the pink off that.
So I really, so those that don't know or watch our Twitch stream, and I need to put that in here sometime. We race Alpine in my team, or our career together, and I really like the pink. I like the pink. I've always liked.
I love that car.
It's a nice car.
Yeah.
And golly, man, I have 27 different favorite drivers, and there's only 20 of them. I really like Pierre Gasly. Drive to Survive is one of those shows that you either love or you don't, or you hate people. I don't really like Lewis Hamilton mostly because of that show. Yeah, and I really like Pierre Gasly a lot because of that show. Anyway,
but you like Max Verstappen, and he's kind of a punk on that show too.
Well, I mean, he's such a turd that he wasn't even part of the last season, which I'm excited to see him this year, though.
Yeah, he's coming back
off, and he wants to be a part of it. And I don't know that I like.
Well, of course, he does. Now he's a world champ.
Yeah, no pressure on him.
Yeah,
two-time world champ.
I'm sure the PR spin guys at Red Bull were like, "Bro, I don't care what you don't like.
Yeah, you're doing it.
You're the world champ. We need free press.
Yeah, you're going to do it, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
All right. What's the next team up?
The next is Gene Haas, MoneyGram Racing.
MoneyGram Racing. OnlyFans.
I cannot. Yeah, and you bring that up, and that's hilarious because I did a parody car on Gran Turismo that was Wish.com, OnlyFans, Williams Racing.
I remember that.
They couldn't find sponsorship anywhere else. So now we're going to have the Haas MoneyGram F1 team.
Okay.
That's just bad in and of itself. Okay, but
it's becoming very NASCAR-y.
Yes. The driver lineup they're sticking with Kevin Magnussen.
I love that. I mean, for a dude that only got a shot because Russia invaded the Ukraine, I mean, that's exactly what happened. I mean, they had a Russian driver.
He's literally the only person that has benefited from that.
Yeah, he's
and I think we have to be sensitive to the other 80 million people.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
For Kevin Magnussen, worked out okay.
Yeah.
And then he had a heck of a year and gets to stick around.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So,
and now his new teammate is
BFF, his longtime BFF.
Yeah, his longtime BFF, Nico Hulkenberg, is going to be the co-driver there. And if you know anything about Formula One at all, at least in the past 5 years, those two, their relationship could best be described as abrasive.
Yeah, they don't like each other at all.
Hurt and callous.
So, was it season 1? Is it season 1?
Oh, yeah, that's the first episode.
So, I didn't remember that. Jay has an eidetic memory, and I did not remember that. And he was like, dude, you got to go back and watch this. Go back and watch that. And boy, they don't like each other.
Yeah, we can't use any of the sentences they used.
No, not a one of them.
Just because
Will Payne would kick us right off.
Right, he'd be like, well, that episode's not going to work. So anyway, but that's the lineup. Here's what I like about this team.
Okay.
I think as long as there's 2 or 3 drivers between those two at any one point in a race, they could potentially make points in every race if the car.
Because really, 2 good drivers, and they proved last year that the car is points worthy. I mean, they can get points.
The other downside is, unlike Magnussen Grosjean, where it felt like they both wrecked out every race.
Yep.
It seemed to come to an aptitude. That was one of those things where they just couldn't handle the car and whatever. This time it's going to be aggression.
Okay.
Because both of these two are very aggressive drivers. They go for risks that the normal person wouldn't take all the time. And I think you could potentially see some fireworks this season.
Which I think that's why I like Magnussen so much. Is he kind of he's just aggressive. He's almost a NASCAR driver in the F1 series. I mean, he's aggressive. I don't know a whole lot about Hulkenberg, but I'm excited for this next year.
Yeah, I really like Nico. Nico holds the record for the longest running career without a podium. So he still has.
This is
he
the
comes
one
into the season
that I
with
didn't
that record.
know that I thought he had never had points, but it's just he'd never had a podium.
Never been on the podium.
Gotcha. Okay.
And coming from Formula 2, it was expected that he was going to be on the podium.
Okay.
So,
did he win? Was he a champion in Formula 2?
Yeah. Well, I don't think he won the whole thing, but yeah, he had wins. Yes.
Yeah.
And he was a stud ever since he was karting. But anyway, moving on.
Okay.
The McLaren team also has a driver change this year. So it's
would lower the flags to half staff for Danny Rick.
Danny Rick is no longer there.
Dude.
So Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Now, here's where I think there's going to be trouble at McLaren this year. I don't see, and I could be absolutely wrong.
I agree with you on this. I think I know what your take is.
I absolutely could be wrong, but you got two young wannabe alphas.
Yep. Who's driver
got
one?
A lot to prove because he knows he calls all that crap in the offseason, and he's going to have a lot to prove. And Lando is going to want to say, hey, man, I'm the senior citizen here. You follow me around the track.
Yeah.
You set me up for wins.
I'm the golden boy.
And he's saying that. Meanwhile, he looks like he's 12.
Oh, yeah.
So that being said, I just think there's going to be a lot of childish stuff going with McLaren this year.
Norris is pretty young, right?
Yeah, he's like 24 maybe.
How old is Piastri?
Same ballpark. It doesn't really matter. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, so but young.
40s.
Yeah.
Does it matter?
Well, I mean, I just didn't know. I know that Lando Norris looks really young, but I didn't know maybe he was a little older. And
no, it's not. It's not a Doogie Howser problem.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I said that actually to a comment at Maddie WTF1. Rest in peace. He's still alive. He just got fired from WTF1. I hope he's watching, and we have invited a standing invite to come on the show. You can take Jay's spot anytime you want to.
Wow.
You told me not to snipe today, and that's my one.
Yeah. Okay.
Shots fired. Anyway, I sent it to him is that really a good match? Because I think you're dead on. I think these two are both going to walk around like peacocks and think they are the man. And unfortunately in F1 on a team, only one can be the guy.
Yeah.
So it's, how do they, if Piastri outruns Lando, how do they do that? It's the same reason. It's kind of the same thing with George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, except Lewis had skins on the wall.
Yeah.
Lando doesn't have anything. Lando's never won a race, right?
Right. Yeah. No, he's won a race.
I thought Danny Rick was the only one that won a McLaren in the last 10 years.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
So
check on that.
You got Lando Norris, who's never won a race. What if Piastri comes in here and outruns him right off the bat? Like, what? How is that changing?
Go home.
I mean, how does that change?
He spent the whole offseason talking about. I do have options if I need out at McLaren. If McLaren's not performing.
I mean, Lando is one of those guys that's going to want to be at a top tier team. He's not taking a step back. That's for sure. I mean, is he the next Red Bull guy instead of Sergio Perez when Sergio?
No, we're going to be talking about that later on a separate topic.
Okay. Well, let's keep moving on.
Okay. So next up is Aston Martin.
Jay's favorite team.
Not right now. So
you love Aston Martin, though.
Daddy.
Yep.
Daddy to Lance Stroll. He's sold out to China for Aston Martin. So they own Aston Martin now.
Oh, I didn't even know that. When did that happen?
Last week.
Wow. Is Lance Stroll shaking a little bit?
And I don't know the full details. I was so ticked off. I read like a third of the article, and then I was like, no, I'm just not.
Billionaire's going to billionaire, man. What are you going to do?
So anyway, they didn't dump one. He retired, Sebastian Vettel.
Yep. And
they picked up an equally talented veteran driver, Fernando Alonso. So really excited about that. I have a feeling this is another one, though, that we could potentially see some fireworks because I don't think Alonso is going to put up with Stroll's antics as much as Vettel did.
Okay.
Plus, these two had scrapes towards the end of the season this past year. So
right at the end, right?
Coda, they had one, and Brazil, they had one. The one in Brazil was
a good one.
Like I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, it was awful. Stroll
he just ran him down the track, right?
Just kept edging off, it was awful.
Kind of a weird deal.
Yeah. So another potential set of drama situations going on with Aston Martin. So anyway, that's where Aston Martin is on Tauri. It's a shakeup. So we got Yuki Tsunoda coming back. And we got Nick DeVries, who was Mercedes reserve driver.
Okay. He came in. He's the one that came in at was it the last race?
Yeah. And he couldn't even get out of the car.
He was so tired. And so
never ran that long of a race.
And he sat there. It's so funny because everybody comes over. What race was that? It wasn't Abu Dhabi.
No, it was way before. It was middle of the season.
Are you sure? I thought it was at the very end.
No, it was towards the middle.
Why did he have to do that? Anyway, he came in and ran for somebody for some reason. I don't remember why.
I thought it was Albon when Albon went down from Japan.
He had surgery.
Yeah,
he had surgery. He ran for Alex Albon.
Yeah,
in the Williams car.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. And people are coming over and congratulating him on such a good job. And he can't raise his hands up. He can't get out of the car. He's stuck in this thing because his arms are so tired that finally one of his crew members realized it and pulled him out of the car. And the dude's probably the size of my 5-year-old son. He's not big.
Right.
I mean, he looks like he's about 60 pounds and about 4'2".
And what was more impressive was that he ran very well in a substandard car.
Yeah, he scored points, right?
Yeah.
Was that the first points they scored all season?
I don't think so. I thought Albon had points in one of the other. I thought he had points at Hungary.
Yeah, because it was what's his name, Latifi. Yeah. They were talking about he got 21st out of 20 drivers
because of
DeVries scored points. Yeah,
right. So anyway, sorry, my phone is just peaking over here. I apologize.
Okay.
So anyway, obviously you highlighted it, but Latifi's gone.
Yep.
Rest in peace.
Go Tiffy.
So anyway, that happened. I'm looking forward to DeVries. I think he can kind of shake up that mid to late field situation that goes on there. I think he can get in, especially with Alpha. Alpha Tauri's a good car. You just got to keep it together when you're out on the road. So that brings us to last and definitely least, Williams Racing. So they fired Yost Capito.
I liked him. Didn't he come from Raleigh?
He came from Raleigh, but he had
very energetic guy. Seemed like a really good dude that was bought in on the Williams culture.
Yeah, and they brought him in as a cheerleader, and that's what he did. I don't. And again, this is a situation where we'll never know because we're not in those conversations in boardrooms. First off, that Doralton Ventures Capital Group, those are some hard charging. Give us results now.
That's the new owners of Williams, right? Yeah,
and it's 3 people. And just looking at it, I don't even want to be in a room with them. I feel like I'd get fired from my job just being in a room with them.
Gotcha.
Even though they have no relation to my job. It's just like that's their desire in life. We just
want to fire people.
We just like firing people.
Yeah.
We like.
You better watch out to become president.
Yeah, we can't get enough of it. Anyway, so they got rid of Yost, but we don't know who's coming there right now. So anyway, their lineup though, Alex Albon's back, and an American. Logan Sargent.
Oh, golly, I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
Where's he out of? Do you know off the top of your head?
He's an Indy car, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And I can't remember who he drove for. I'm not a big Indy car fan, though.
I'm not either, but we're going to be this year because you know why? We're going to be live.
Yeah.
Did I tell you, by the way, that we're going to be in our broadcast studio? It's going to be, I think, knock on wood that Will hooks us up here. It's going to be right above Victory Lane. So I'm pretty jazzed up that we're gonna be coming live to you guys right above Victory Lane in Texas Motor Speedway. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Okay, I didn't know that till just now.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
breaking news, man.
I'm like, you shut me up. So that was pretty cool.
So anyway, Logan Sargent.
Yeah, Logan Sargent. So looking forward to seeing him and see how he does and see how he represents for the red, white, and blue. Obviously, I want to see us do well, and I'd like to see us have more drivers. Lord knows we have plenty of tracks now.
Has an American ever won an F1 race?
Ooh. Sniper number 2.
Is that a sniper? That wasn't rude. I just thought you might know. 2. No, that's good. We'll know this because we'll be back next week. We're coming back weekly now, right?
Yeah.
So
and I don't know right off the top of my head.
That's for next week's episode. We will find out. That's the question of the week. That's something we need to do.
And this has nothing to do with a lack of nationalism or anything. Because I love my country. I served it, but not always my favorite drivers. Most of my favorite drivers were not Americans, and I don't mind saying that. And I don't think that.
I don't think that's unpatriotic.
Yeah. You like who you like,
Some of us love our country a little more. It's whatever.
Wow.
I'm joking. My favorite driver is Max
Wow.
Verstappen. He's Dutch. So
Yeah, true. All right. Anyway, biggest team principal move, and we're only going to go over one.
Before we go into that, though, I think we came up with a good idea. If so, I can see everybody's comments on here. We'll be able to see them during the week. You can email us, find us on Twitch, send us a question of the week. I like the question of the week. So our question of the week next week is going to be: has an American ever won an F1 race? That'll be our question of the week, and we'll remember it for next week. Jay's good memory. We'll remember it for next week. We'll come back with that answer. So send us a question of the week for the next week. And Mike said we're getting a little bit of echo. I don't know what's causing that, Mike, but we'll get it fixed for next week. Again, we're using a new streaming software, a new streaming platform that's got a bunch of gadgets and gizmos. And
yeah, bear with us because this new software is actually wonderful. It's I don't even mind saying it. It's StreamYard.
It's outstanding.
And it is, if you're out there and you're a burgeoning podcast person and you're wanting to get started on it, StreamYard is the way. We're still trying to figure out the sound piece. And again, we're not doing this full time. I wish we had the time to
for sure. And there is no reverb in here. We can't hear an echo at all. It sounds perfect in here. So we'll figure out what it is. Maybe we need to be further apart. Maybe we need to be whatever.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out, though.
Last time we had to figure out something to mute.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Anyway, not sound professionals.
Okay, so I apologize. I might put that on here. I just saw it. And another thing I thought was really cool, and you're about to talk about this, is if you make a comment on one of our live shows while we're live right now, and Mike made a comment on our YouTube. Can you see that, Jay?
I can.
And I can click on that, and it puts it up on the screen for everybody at home to see that comment. And he's talking about the next thing up, right?
I am. He brought up Egon. So biggest team principal move. And this is going to be weird. This is what's going to be weird watching Drive to Survive this season, because we're going to get all those Mattia Binotto / Egon Spengler interviews and realize he's not going to be in the mix this year. But he was obviously released and/or left and/or whatever they're calling it in Italy.
Dude, I would like to go back to about the middle of last year when we said whatever point of the year it was, when he said it was summer break.
Yeah.
He said, I don't foresee any changes. Well, guess what, bud? You were the change.
Yeah.
You didn't want to make any changes. They just changed you. I mean, it's like a head coach in football. You don't want to change your offensive coordinator. Cool. We're just going to fire you and go a different direction.
Well, our last episode before our hiatus, and I went off on my rant, and you guys were over here having a conniption in your chairs, and I'd left my body for that piece. But, and I was joking about how peaceful and calm and just almost a Zen calm about it. But sometimes you got to look like you're taking it serious.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
No.
They were asking him real world questions in the paddock after races that were relevant and poignant, and he was just doing the whole, we worked with the car and
we did our best.
Feel like we have a good car, and it's, obviously it was a tough break for Charles out there today, and Carlos blew up, and that's unfortunate, and the car burnt down to a fiery cinder. But we're gonna be back next week, and and you're like, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
are you actually listening and knowing what's going on right now? Like, are you want to ask him, like, are you processing what's going on right now?
There's the old phrase from the 80s and early 90s, never let them see you sweat.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that, but maybe a little bit of sweat's not a bad thing.
Can we have a little bit of urgency?
Yeah.
You are fighting for a world championship right now.
Brown, whether you like him or hate him, that dude that's a big boy, and he's hauling rear end across the paddock back and forth. How we doing? What's going on?
An Indiana
you
country
got Horner going nuts. You got Toto sitting in a chair like this until something bad happens, and then he's all, this is not right.
Yeah, it's called racing, Toto.
It's called racing, Toto. So, yeah, I think they needed more from him. I think they needed, him to show some type of sense of purpose and moving forward, and they didn't get it. Not. At the end of the day, and it'll never be said, and this is just me guessing, but I'm pretty sure 90% of it was Charles.
Yeah.
Saying,
so
hey, no.
So here's my question then.
Carlos Sainz Sr. had something to do with it too.
Speaking of, we'll talk about that in just a second. Where was I going with that? Crap. Okay, so we had talked about how we thought Ferrari might be able to take that next step.
Yeah.
Right. We kept talking about how they closed off the year and how we thought they might be able to take the next step going into this year to be a legitimate title contender. can they take that next step with a new chief principal?
Okay, so let me talk about Fred Vassar.
Okay.
Fred Vassar is, and as we've said so many times tonight, this is just watching him work from what I've seen. This is a guy they brought in to heal an ailing Alfa Romeo. Okay. And he succeeded in that job. Are they winning championships? No. Are they a hotbed for drivers to come in and then move on to other teams and win world champions? Absolutely. But Fred Vassar righted that ship that was broke. If they'd had a better car, I think they would have been doing great. I think Joe Guanyu was a great pickup on his part. And obviously landing Valtteri at the end of his career. So I think he's going to bring a no-nonsense approach. I think if it's broke, he's absolutely going to want it fixed yesterday. So, it's one of those situations where, unlike Mattia, he's not going to sit on his hands. You're going to see a guy that's very active while he's sipping his little espressos. I don't know if you remember the episode that kind of focused on him on Drive to Survive, but they just showed him at his desk on his laptop, just plugging away with his little
espresso,
little espresso cup. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at Ferrari. This is obviously a huge promotion for him, though. It's just junior varsity to the big leagues kind of thing.
Well, I mean, obviously they feel pretty good. I mean, because the powers that be at Red Bull at Ferrari have to feel like they're close, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think you bring this guy in if you don't think he's the one.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just.
Are there other people that could have taken that spot? If that's what if you're kind of alluding to that, yeah, there is. I don't think any of them wanted to leave their current jobs.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any of them that are sitting at home right now that would have been open for that job.
But as you said just now, one of the important things is this is his first step into the big leagues, right? So if he succeeds and it goes well, they have their chief principal for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not catching somebody at the end of their career. They're catching somebody at the beginning of it that they can have a long run with if he gets it right.
Yeah, I hope so. And, and I don't know if they did or not, but, I hope they at least entertained maybe Cyril as well.
Yeah.
Talk to him.
Where's he at now?
Nowhere.
I thought he went somewhere else.
I heard he was going to run Red Bull's powertrain.
Like a chief engineer kind of thing.
I heard that's what he was going to do, but I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
As far as solid information on where he is. But anyway, so Maya, believe it or not, this is one of my next to last things, man. Is
like I said, it's gonna. I mean, we're still at 45 minutes. It hasn't been.
Yeah, and there's some other stuff I want to talk about.
Podcast, kind of, but it's shorter and a little more laid back than normal.
Some housekeeping stuff I want to take care of at the end, but we had already mentioned it, but I really want to talk about it because we have to talk. Armchair quarterback strategy here. So Danny Rick at Red Bull.
Yep.
I'm going to mention Checo Perez.
Are you?
Just going to throw that out there.
Okay.
Basically taking a 20-sided die right now and tossing it on the table and praying for 16 to 20, and you have no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about. We just talked about this before.
Yeah,
that, like we're talking about Magic and D&D. And I was like, I don't have a clue what it is. So then you bring in a reference, and I look like an idiot. Thanks.
So you got Danny Rick. If you're Checo, if you're Max, you don't care.
Yeah, what does he care?
And let's be clear, this is a very different Danny Rick than the one that was here before. There before. So we still had a relatively young Danny Rick.
Yeah.
When he was there before. We had a super young Max Verstappen who was still kind of a hothead. Now we've got a seasoned Danny Rick that knows you can't win every race. And maybe he doesn't think he can win any race. Maybe he just wants to drive, But here's the thing with if you're Checo, though, I'd be worried.
You got to be a little worried, right?
Okay, mainly because I don't think Helmut Marko has ever really signed Checo, into the box that says this is our guy.
He is. He
like
brings some money, though, right?
He brings a ton of money.
Yeah,
he brings a ton of Mexican telecom money. So there's that piece.
Okay.
He also brings.
Hold on. Michael's calling somebody a clown. Sorry, I don't know who the clown is.
The clown.
All right. There's the clown. The clown from Mike. Okay. Sorry. Go back. My bad.
So anyway, so he brings the money, and then Checo has something I don't think any driver has, and everybody knows what I'm going to say when I say it, but his defensive driving.
Oh,
I don't
man.
think there's anybody that blocks, but you can't you can't be the guy if you're the blocker.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you're the fullback, right? So
you know what
you're
he
just-
reminds me of? He reminds me of the bruiser in hockey.
Yes,
The guy that's he's never going to be the one scoring
Yeah.
a goal, but he is the one that's going to whip your tail.
he's Chelios and Probert out there
Right.
just beating people into
And
the
it's just who
sidewall.
he is. And I mean, we talked about earlier, or last year, that George Russell kind of had the yips around him. I
Yeah.
think it's because it's almost like Perez carries himself as this, don't come near me. I'm going to hit you, or I'm going to make it so difficult to pass me
Yeah,
that you're going to wish you hadn't tried.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So anyway, and I don't before Chaz drives up here and murders me in the room I need to say, here's the thing though. Checo is an incredibly talented F1 driver and capable of winning on his own. Doesn't need help. I feel like Max sometimes needs help
I do
to win. I feel like Lewis Hamilton needs help.
Well, I
to
mean,
win.
we proved it. He won the championship because
Yes.
of Checo.
Yeah.
First one.
But here's my thing. I think Checo needs to change his paradigm, man. I think he needs to go, you know what? I'm driving for me.
Yeah.
And come what may, if they get rid of me at Red Bull and they want to move Danny into the 2 spot, I'll find a home.
He kind of did that at the start of last year. Remember? I mean, he won Monaco. They were one.
And what happened?
they
What
were
happened
one-
when that
They
happened?
were 1-2 in points, and then boy, it went real quickly.
Yeah, it went real quick. And I'll tell you why, because Max's daddy came out to the paddock
It was like, wait a minute,
and go, whoa,
my guy's the guy.
whoa, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna have to quit all that winning stuff.
Yeah. This is my son's team.
I think you're
And
exactly right.
Yeah, and anytime that happens, that's what happens. And then all of a sudden, the very next week, Checo can't drive the car. It's completely been reworked, and it's not as fast.
Well, didn't they have that car kind of? I remember I was talking about they had it with the front end down or up or
Yeah.
something, and whatever it was, it
The rake.
suited Sergio better.
Yes.
Checo Perez better than it did. Okay,
Yeah.
so I didn't know if I didn't know what that was. But did they change the car, or was it all of a sudden Sergio just changed his driving style into being more?
I think they changed the car.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. And of course, he had a couple of just because I want to bring these up.
Yeah.
He had a couple races where he was taken out by your boy.
Yeah, George Russell. He is not my boy anymore. He can't keep a shirt on. I'm out.
So
Gandhi.
yeah, Russell took him out a couple times in 2 different races.
Yeah.
Side by side.
Both times Russell blamed
Yeah.
Checo.
Absolutely. So that's
just what
that
he
being
does.
said, I think Checo's got a real reason for concern as far as why they brought Danny Rick in. But again, I don't think Checo needs Red Bull as much as Red Bull needs him.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, he's a good driver.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of things working for him. He's youngish. He's
Yeah.
a good driver, and he brings a boatload of cash, and
Yeah.
he brings a boatload of fans.
He's
He has the entire South America,
Mexico,
Mexico,
Brazil.
Central America.
Yeah.
He brings all of that fan base into F1.
Yeah,
Every
and
one of them.
yeah,
Because there's
and
none other driver.
he's got Miami too.
And Miami, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, let's be honest, South Texas. When you go to
Yeah.
Coda, I bet he is the number one driver. I mean, I bet more people cheer for him, or as many as anyone.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
I mean, just he brings a lot to the table, and he's a hell of a driver. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to be a hell of a driver to win Monaco. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
So
You got to be a heck of a strategist to blow your car up on purpose during qualifying to make sure that Ferrari.
we made it
That's
one episode in 2023, dude. One episode. We didn't even make a full episode in 2023 before Tenfold J comes out to play.
The
We're gonna change
conspiracies.
your edit name to
The conspiracies
Tenfold
are out.
J. I think I can do that. Hold on. Edit name. Give me just one
The
second.
conspiracies are out already.
Tinfoil J.
Yeah.
There it is.
Wow, man, that's not even right.
So I can change that midstream here.
Yeah. Just remember that works both ways.
I know it's true.
That's true. So,
It is true.
anyway, moving on from that, Chad, do you know when the first race of the Formula One season is?
First week of March, I got a countdown timer in my bedroom.
Of course you do. Okay, March 3 through 5
We're getting close, man.
in Bahrain.
We're a month and a half away. When does winter testing start up?
Pretty sure they already did part of it. or it's starting next week or so.
Car launches are pretty fast. I know one of them's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got not car launches, car reveals. I don't know why F1 does this big car reveal thing, but it gives us something to talk about, right?
And it also gives them it's a money event. They can have big wigs come in and drink champagne, and
well, hopefully on this new platform here,
sponsors.
we'll be able to. I think we could go. Hold on a second. I'm going to click something real quick and just see what we get.
Okay.
So it didn't do anything. I think if we have a picture on here, we can load the picture and we can load each car individually, and then we can discuss the car. People watching on the show can see the car. I don't know exactly how that works, but between now and the first car reveal, I will figure that out.
Okay, that'd be cool. Do a car reveal show.
So March 3rd to the 5th at Bahrain. Is that a sprint race?
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know what that is. I know that they're going to have 6 again this year, right? Is that right? Didn't they have 6 last year?
I thought it was 5 last year.
5 last year? I don't remember how many it was.
I don't know if
remember, though, I mean, as we're talking about F1 season, we get 3 American races this year. And if we get enough Fuel Pod Patreons, they're not really Patreons. We're not using Patreon. You can go to our Anchor site, though, if you want to support the show.
No,
they can't do that.
No, there's no sprint for Bahrain.
No, they can do this. So if you want to go to anchor.com and support the Fuel Pod, you can. And you can send Jay and I out. We're going to do the Emperor package for I don't know if you've seen this Emperor package. I think it's a 12-person suite, 12 tickets with paddock, and it's like $3 million, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it's called the Emperor's package. It's pretty insane. But with your help, Fuel Pod listeners, we're going to get there. Jay, do we have anything else we need to go through?
Baseline tickets for Bahrain are 195 euros. So
well, thank you for that. This is America.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I know. That's all I know.
We are now.
That was it for that was it for F1, and I don't want to do a lot of racing tonight because, like I said, this is our comeback episode, and we had some other stuff. But the other one I want you to be wary of is that our first rally of the year. To be fair, that's our 2 biggest. Our first rally of the year is Monte Carlo, which is in Monaco, and that should be January 9th through the 11th, I think.
Well, that's going on right now. Today's the 12th.
So, no, it might be the 19th. Hold on.
What? So, hold on. Do you want to? I'm going to throw this out there, and I know we didn't talk about it. And do you want to talk about the Dakar rally any? I didn't know if you really. I know you really
wanted to wait till it was over.
Fair enough. I didn't know.
So no, I was wrong. It's January 19th. I was right.
So another week.
January 19th
so
to the 22nd for Rally Monte Carlo.
Gotcha.
What's this?
We got breaking news.
We just brought him up. Cyril Abitabo is the new team principal for Hyundai Rally.
Well, there you go. Now we know what Cyril's doing.
Yeah, the 45-year-old. See, he's young, man. For a chief principal. He's making his first appearance at the Rally Monaco.
There you go.
So there we go.
All right, now we know what
Cyril's doing.
Question. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be at Barrett Jackson in Phoenix. So I'm going to try to go live on our YouTube. If I can find some good cars, some cool stuff, I think the Fuel Pod listeners might want to check out. I'm going to try to go live there so everybody can see those. So that's coming up in a few weeks.
I'll be working that same week.
I hate that for you. Hate that for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jay, are we ready to sign this thing off?
We're
not ready to sign this thing off. I apologize. There's more.
We teased it last year, and we tried so many different routes, but as you can see, we're really trying to step up our game as far as broadcast and live and offering many different ways for you to experience the Fuel Pod, whether it be audio and video. Yeah. And we do have a couple people out there that sponsor us, which is awesome, and we're trying to increase that too. But we actually do have a decent amount of merch coming finally.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. So we're going to be. We'll have T-shirts. We're going to have stickers. We're going to have stickers for your vehicles and stickers for your laptops. We'll have a lot of different things: hoodies, long sleeve shirts, hats, a bunch of different things.
Yep.
Mismatched socks.
Mismatched socks are my fave.
We're gonna have Team Cox and Team Wang things on there, so that'll be for the Cox and Wang crowd for the virtual racing.
Yeah, so that's our alter egos. And it started with you can't this all started with I can't put my name's Hitchcock. I can't put it in any of EA's servers.
Yeah.
It gets flagged, right? So, but Cox is on there, COX. and we thought that was a good racing name. So Cox and Wang are online racing. So you can follow the Cox and Wang saga. I don't know if it's a saga. It is for me. For you, it's a champions, whatever.
Yes.
For me, it's riding around with Latifi. Anyway, you can follow that on Twitch, and
That might be the best line of the episode right there. Line of the episode.
We'll talk about that here at the very end in just a second. How you can follow us on our racing journey.
But anyway, also with the store that we're opening, and it's going to start off on Etsy.
Yep.
But I'll be sharing that link this week, and we'll put it in our comment sections and Twitter and everywhere else. It'll be shared on there as well.
Cool.
And for people that do end up signing on and wanting to help make us better, we are going to be creating like for lack of a better term, a loot box for those folks. And we're still toying with ideas, and tell us what you think. Because I thought about doing one quarterly for people that subscribe to us and sending you a shirt and a hat and stickers or whatever.
Yeah.
Just something just to say thank you from us, and we want to make that available to you all. So thank you very much for sticking around with us, and thank you very much for allowing us to spend our holiday with our families. And I trust that your all's holidays went well as too. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. All right, so do we want to do our social media thing?
Let's do it.
Okay, so follow us on Twitch. We just talked about our virtual racing journey. You can follow us on Twitch at ChadH610
and GMJ729.
And I'm going to try to figure out a way to maybe, I don't know exactly how to do it, but I think there might be a way for us to do our races on here.
Yeah,
I'm going to figure that out. We are going to figure that out. If you want to follow on Twitter,
JNeil729.
Jay doesn't usually go first. That's why I want to mess with
at JNeil729.
And I'm at ChadH610. Discord is the Fuel Pod, just Fuel Pod.
Yeah, no,
and it's been like 5 weeks since we've done this, and I feel like we're nailing it.
That's weird. I felt completely the
opposite. Okay. So, and then if you're listening on the radio, we'll be on, if you're listening to this live right now, this broadcast will be on the radio Saturday mornings on ESPN Paris 105.1. Thank you, Will Payne, for allowing us to continue that time.
Thanks, Will.
We're going to have some behind the scenes stuff at some point.
Yeah.
We're going to have another camera angle in here that's going to bring a behind the scenes, what it takes for us.
Oh, no.
What happened?
It looks like Mikey jumped on me for not bringing up Esapekalapi.
Oh, yeah. I put the thing on there.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to have another screen at some point. That was Jay's idea of maybe we subscribers to the show. We're going to change to a subscriber based. You'll still have the free stuff, but we'll also have a subscriber program, and they'll have access to us being idiots and getting ready for the show.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you all for letting us keep doing it. Thanks to our families and my wife that's very understanding and lets me come out here and do this with Jay.
My boys.
Your boys that I think love it more than anything. Honestly.
Yeah, they probably do. I mean, I only have my youngest because my oldest started working. So he's working tonight. He's closing down. And my youngest is probably playing Elden Ring right now. So,
well, hopefully it's only 10:19. So if 10:19, we might be able to shut this thing down. So if you're watching this live, we've got quite a few people watching live. Switch over to our Twitch channels.
And
maybe I could talk Jay into racing tonight.
Oh, wow.
Jay has been the person that shuts me down so much. So anyway,
wow.
Thank you guys for being a part of the Fuel Pod. And I don't know how to do the outro and stuff. So again, give me a little grace. We're going to try really hard to make this right. But thank you guys.
Thank you.